There are powerful invisible forces that are constantly working our lives, things we often take for granted, such as radiation, gravity, electromagnetism. But we also have to include human emotion on the list of forces that shape us. Love, fear, gratitude are just a few emotions that uniquely and powerfully impact life as much as anything else on the planet. I believe that the discoveries in this book can change our understandings of how we store emotional experiences, and in so doing, change our lives.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Brad Nelson here. Hope you like that little intro commercial that Tony Robbins helped us with on the emotion code. Hope everybody's having a great day today. This is going to be a lot of fun, hopefully. We're going to be taking a volunteer or two that are in pain, and should be fun. We're going to be using the body code today. The body code, of course, is the method that I developed during the years that I was in practice to help people that were really sick. And I'll be showing you today how this works. We'll be clicking through some of these things and actually using these things live on somebody who has a problem. So I want to say hello to all of you that are sending in all the messages here from both YouTube, and we're simulcasting to YouTube, multiple Facebook pages, and even Twitter. So yes, hello to all of you out there. So a couple of things that are coming up really soon I wanted to let you know about. First of all, we have some events that are coming up here really soon, and what I'll do is I'll just stream these across the bottom of the page here so you can see. On the 15th and 16th of October, which is only a couple of weeks away, we're putting on a body code seminar in Dallas, Texas. Now, if you can't make it, we're working right now on enabling live streaming for this, so that we're hoping to be able to put that together so that if you can't attend live, you'll still be able to attend remotely. And so we'll keep you posted about that. We'll send out an email to everybody in our group, and I'll jump on and do a little live announcement about that as soon as we can get that in place. But there's nothing like coming to the event live and being there live and in person. So we hope you can come. That's in Dallas, October 15th and 16th. We also have a really special, first of its kind seminar that we're doing in Las Vegas. And that's coming up November 19th and 20th. And what we're doing is we're combining an emotion code seminar that's split over 2 days with my favorite sport, which is pickleball. And those of you that play pickleball, you know how fun it is and how amazing it is. And it's just so unique. I used to play tennis years ago, and was kind of intermediate at tennis. And I love tennis. It was really fun. But I love pickleball so much more. Now, if you play pickleball and you know how to play it, great. If you don't, you can come and you can actually learn. The two experts that are coming to this event are actually the guys that I've been learning from for about the last 6 months. And they are two of the world's top experts in pickleball. One of them was actually the #1 ranked player for 3 years in the US. And the other one has taught for many, many years. And the two of them together wrote a book called The Pickleball Bible. So, I mean, these guys are no slouches. They really know how to play pickleball, and they really know how to teach it. They're just fantastic teachers. So if you've ever thought that you might want to learn a new sport, pickleball is easy. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. You can play it with kids. You can play it with adults. It's really so much fun. And so we just thought it would be really fun to combine an emotion code seminar with pickleball lessons. And anyway, that's coming up again in November in Las Vegas. Now, we also have another really special event coming up. This is a one-day emotion code seminar for those of you that are back on the East Coast. This is coming up in Cocoa Beach, Florida on November 6th. And you can visit discoverhealing.com/events for any of these. And we hope that you can come. And we're going to try to live stream all of these if we can, starting with this event in October. But if you can come, there's just, it's so much fun to be there live and in person and experience the energy and, get to come up on stage maybe and get worked on. And there's just nothing like being there live and in person. But anyway, so I wanted to let you know about all of those. So I'll just keep that ticker running across the bottom of the screen here for a while so that, you can get your information about those and where to go. So let's see what else is in the works here. Well, there's a lot of fun things that have been happening, and we just finished up the manuscript for the new Body Code book, which is coming out, which is going to kind of be an overview of the Body Code. It's going to be kind of a hands-on book. The Body Code itself, if we look at it here for a minute, it looks really simple. There are these 6 different areas that are the 6 different categories of imbalances. And if we become imbalanced in any of these 6 areas, then we start to lose our health and our immune system starts to decline. So the secret to longevity and the secret to health is being as free of imbalances as you can be. And so what the Body Code does is it helps us to identify those imbalances. Now, I want to put a word out right now. We're going to be working on a volunteer or maybe 2 today. And so for purposes of demonstration, even though the Body Code works great for all kinds of issues, for purposes of demonstration, I like to demonstrate on people that are really in a significant level of physical pain, because we can usually get really fast results. And when someone that is on a Facebook Live or something like this, when they're at a level of 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 in pain, and through the grace of God and using the Body Code, we're able to figure out the imbalances that are causing that pain, and we take that pain level down to maybe a 1 or a 2 or maybe even a 0 in 5 or 10 minutes. Everybody knows it's for real, and it's really a lot of fun. So I'm excited about doing this today with you. So if you are really hurting right now in this moment, maybe you've got a migraine or neck pain or back pain or whatever it might be. If you're in physical pain and it's at least on a 0 to 10 scale, where 0 is no pain at all and 10 is, call the hospital, take me to the hospital. If you're at least a 7 on that scale, okay, and you're in pain right now, then what we'd like you to do is go ahead and write into the chat to send it in. And we're getting chats here from Facebook and Twitter and from everywhere. So what we'd like to do is just have you write in the level of pain, okay? So, and what the problem is. So like low back, level 10, maybe even write in how long you've had it, a month, 6 months, a year, 20 years, whatever, I don't care. You can have had it for all your life, doesn't make any difference, all right? So you can write that in, and then what we'll do is our staff that's monitoring this will send you a special link. And then you can jump on with me, and I'll bring you on to the stream. Okay, you want to make sure that you've got a webcam. Okay, so that so I can see you. I mean, I don't have to see you, but it's nice for the audience so they can see you. All right, fantastic. So let's just see here. So just to give you kind of an overview about the Body Code and how this works. Again, during the years that I was in practice, I was working with people who were really ill, who had all kinds of problems. And what I found was that as I was finding the imbalances and the underlying causes of their issues, I was also categorizing those things. I was a computer programmer before I went to chiropractic school. And so during the time that I was in practice, I always had a computer there, and I was always trying to kind of keep track of things and organize things. And so I used a mind mapping system to organize all of the things that I was finding with people. And eventually it now ends up looking like this. So each one of these is a category here, okay? And so, for example, if we look at pathogens, we know that pathogens can get into the body. A pathogen is some kind of organism that shouldn't be in your body, but that is, and it can cause problems for you. You have to get rid of those pathogens in order for you to be totally healthy, right? We know that. Misalignments, I found during the years that I was in practice, I found that, of course, I was trained to realign the bones in the spine primarily. But I found that any bone can become misaligned. And then I found that any tissue can become misaligned. And so you can find any tissue using this system. So we may see that today. And if you click on any one of these links, they will take you to more links, okay? And there are about 1,000 different end nodes in this system, so that if we were to print the whole thing out, it would be about the size of the LA phone book, okay? But inside of an app, it's all just electrons, and so it's really simple. So another area of imbalances is nutrition or lifestyle. Those are things like sleep, maybe you need a certain herb or a spice, maybe there's a certain nutrient that you need, maybe you're dehydrated or you need an essential oil. And if you click on one of these, it might take you to other areas. Like, for example, we clicked on nutrition, and now we're looking at some other possibilities. And so the subconscious mind will take us wherever it needs to go. And that's the beauty of this, is that the subconscious mind of the individual knows exactly what's wrong. So if you've got problems, if you're sick, or if you've got some kind of a problem mentally or emotionally or physically, your subconscious mind will know why. And using the body code, we can usually find and be taken to whatever those imbalances are. And so it's going to be fun to show you how this works today. Another kind of imbalance, another category is toxins. And so these can include things from biological poisons to heavy metals to dental toxins. And if you click on any of these, you can be taken even a level deeper. And so maybe you were bitten by a spider a while ago, or maybe you've got some kind of a microbial poison, or maybe there was a poisonous plant you were exposed to. The subconscious mind knows these things. See, consciously, we don't know these things because the conscious mind is, and that's my dog saying hello to everybody. The conscious mind is very, very limited. It's kind of like when computers first came out and they had a very limited amount of memory. You couldn't do very much with them. That's kind of like our conscious mind. The brain up here. So we have a tendency to forget things, and we drop the ball. We forget our anniversary. We forget where our car was parked. I mean, all kinds of things. We all do this all the time, right? The subconscious mind, on the other hand, is vastly intelligent, and it knows exactly what's going on with us all the time. And so this system is how we tap into the subconscious mind. So another category here is circuits or systems. And what we do here is we look at the various organs in the body, the glands, body cycles and rhythms, the various systems of the body. They're all in here, and disconnections that can happen between the brain and different parts of the body. Okay, but also between the spirit and the physical body. So all fun stuff. So let's see here. Let's see. You know what? I misplaced my phone. Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, and we'll get started with somebody. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so let's see here. We are going to bring somebody on here pretty quick. And we'll show you how this actually works and how this is done. And so, so in the meantime, let's take a look at the energy area, okay? And in the energy area, this category, we have other kinds of imbalances. We have post-traumatic imbalances. For example, if you receive some kind of a physical blow, the energy of that blow can stay in the body and imbalance you. If you have some kind of an intense emotional shock that happens, we call that a physical emotional shock. You can have, of course, trapped emotions. That's what the Emotion Code book is all about. You may have a heart wall where you put up a wall around your heart to protect yourself, to protect your heart from being broken. And anyway, this system is, it's very easy to use and a lot of fun. And so let's see here. All right, we've got quite a few people that are writing in here. And so thank you all. I unfortunately won't be able to work with all of you. And I've got my staff that's helping me because I don't really have time to talk and and answer all the questions and everything. But I do want to say hello to all of you. And let's see what we can figure out here. So let's see here. Let me see if there's something else in here we can take a look at really quick. Okay, so we've also got offensive issues or offensive imbalances. And these are things like courting, like you might be courted to your old boyfriend, from 40 years ago. And maybe that's why, you keep thinking about him. I mean, this kind of thing can happen. Sometimes we're courted to people in a negative kind of way where all of the negativity that they have might flow to us. We can have post-hypnotic suggestions where we have sentences that are basically in our subconscious mind that can tell us negative things that we should go and do to ourselves, things like that. Saboteurs, there's all kinds of stuff here. So anyway, that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview of the body code and what it is and how it works. And so I've got Mary here that's going to join us now. So let's add Mary to the stream here. Here we go. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Dr. Bradley.
Nice to see you.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, so where are you in the world?
I'm in Oregon.
You're in Oregon. Okay, awesome. And let's see here. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper here so I can make some notes. Okay. And let's see here. Give me just a second. Okay, great. So Mary, tell me what's going on with you? You're in pain right now, I take it.
Yeah, I have acute pain. I actually fell and hurt my mid to upper back and my ribs. I have a fractured rib, and I don't know what they call it. Subluxed, is that what they call them when they're like slightly out of place?
Yeah.
So the pain level is real.
And how, on a 0 to 10 scale, how would you rate it?
Probably 7, 8.
Okay. And when did this happen?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Okay. Okay. So what were you doing?
I was roller skating.
Well, that'll teach
With
you.
my kids. Yep. I can't wait to get back on the skates though, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you just got to be careful. My son brought home this thing that you can stand on, has 2 wheels, and it balances you and so on. And I told him last night, I said, I want to be wearing a mattress before I try that.
Yeah. The kids are good at those things, but I don't know if I can do them.
Yeah, well, if you were as old as me, you'd probably be hesitant. So, all right. So let's take a look at you and we'll see what we can find. So the first thing that we're going to do is we'll take a moment and I'll ask for some help from up above. Remember that this work really came about because during all the years that I was in practice, before I'd go to work on somebody, I would just take a moment and ask for help from up above. I believe in God, that God is real. I know he's real and that he loves us and that there's a great grand purpose for our lives. And so when we ask for help, it's like the old saying, ask and receive, right? And I feel like I need all the help that I can get. So I want to have that channel open to me so that inspiration, thoughts and impressions about what's really going on with you will more easily come to me. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so give me just a moment here and we'll ask for some help. Okay, cool. So it just takes a moment here, but it can really make the difference. So let's ask, first of all, are we connected energetically? Yes or no? I get a yes. Now, how this works in quantum physics, it's a principle in quantum physics that's called entanglement. So energies can become entangled together, and there is no limit as far as distance goes. And then what we're going to do is, by those energies being entangled, I can ask questions and get answers that will manifest on my own body. I'll be using the ring and ring tests. So the answers will come as either my body being strong or a little weak. And so if the answer coming from your subconscious mind is yes, then you'll see that the rings stay together. If the answer is no, the rings will break apart. So you'll be able to see what answers I'm getting here. Strong for yes, weak for no. All right. And first of all, let me just say, I have no idea really why you have pain. Yes, you fell, you got hurt and so on, but pain is always an indicator that there's something going on that isn't right. Something needs to be addressed. And it may just be that, you need to heal completely from this accident. But on the other hand, let's see what we can find, okay? Because a lot of the time people are in a lot more pain than they need to be because there are other imbalances going on. All right. So first of all, let's ask this question. Can I act as proxy for you? In other words, are our energies, am I connected to you, or are our energies entangled? And the answer there is yes. You see, the human body has this amazing ability to set aside its own needs to act on behalf of somebody else. We've always had this ability, but now we're figuring it out. So we're definitely connected. So I want to ask a question, and the question is there an underlying reason why you're experiencing all this pain? And the answer is yes. Okay. So now looking at our body code, let's go over there and let's see. Yep, here we go. So let's ask, and your subconscious mind knows what the reasons are. Now there may be several underlying reasons for your pain, but the subconscious mind will only give us one at a time because, we can only handle one at a time. So this first underlying reason why you're in pain, what is it? Excuse me. Is it something on the left side here of the body code? And the answer is no. So is it a pathogen of some kind? And you might think, well, why is he asking about pathogens? I mean, she fell and hurt herself. Well, the bottom line is that anything can cause anything, and that's how we use the body code. And that's really true. So is it a pathogen? No. Is it some kind of misalignment? It is. Okay, so let's go there. And here we have the categories, the subcategories that represent all of the tissues of the body. So is it something on the left side of this chart? No. So is it something in the skeleton? That's a yes. So we'll go there. So we divide the skeleton up into the appendicular skeleton, which is, of course, the limbs, or the axial skeleton, which is the rest of the body. So is it appendicular? No, it's axial. So it has to be this one. So now we're breaking down. We're delving down deeper in the levels. And so is it something on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it something in the vertebral column? No. Okay. So what's left? The skull. Okay. And the skull, it's funny to me because the skull it's kind of gotten this scary sort of connotation, but to me, the skull is one of the most beautiful things that exists in the world, because it's this incredible three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle that is just unbelievably complex. And so let's ask, what's out of balance or what's out of alignment in your skull? Is it something on the left side here? No. So is it the frontal bone? No. Is it one of the parietal bones or temporal bones? It's the occipital bone. Okay. So your occipital bone is out of balance or misaligned, or we could say it's unhappy. I believe that God created everything, all of us and all of the animals and the plants and everything, to have joy in their own existence, right? And in our bodies, the organs and the glands and the tissues are all either in a state of joy, essentially, they're happy, or they're unhappy. And if they're unhappy, then we have to figure out the reasons why. And so this is true preventive medicine. So let's ask about your occipital bone. Is your occipital bone unhappy? It sure is. So let's click on this. And how the body code works now is that we're given basically the instructions about this. And so it says if we've been guided to this page by the subconscious mind through testing, which we have, it indicates a misalignment is present. And we're right, that's correct. Remember that most of the time, misalignments are caused by the distorting effect of some associated imbalance, such as a trapped emotion. Okay, interesting. So we go to decoding, that's the next step, and it says you've already identified the misaligned bone, so continue to association. So let's go to association. And we want to ask now, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? And guess what? The answer to that is yes. So in other words, there's something associated with this imbalance. Now, if I were there with you, and if you were to hold your arm out parallel to the floor and put one hand back here on the occipital bone, you would not be able to hold your arm up at all because that bone is not functioning right. See, the bones of the skull expand and contract very slightly with respiration. And so what happens is when a bone stops its normal movement and it can't move correctly, then we consider it to be misaligned or kind of malfunctioning. So we have to find the associated imbalance. So this is kind of like playing charades with your subconscious mind, okay? All right, so let's see here. What are we looking for? We're looking for something that's associated with this problem right here. And what is that? Is it something on the left side of the chart? It is. Is it in the energies area? It is, okay. And is it something on the left side? No. I was thinking it might have been, because it could have been maybe a physical trauma from when you fell, but your subconscious says, no, that's not it. So it's something on the right side of the chart here. So is it an allergy or an intolerance or something emotional? Something emotional. So let's go there. So is it one of these on the left side? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. So we'll click there. So you see how you kind of drill down. And so is it one of these on the left side of this chart? No. So is it a common trapped emotion? It is. So it's a common trapped emotion. And that means it's an emotion that became trapped in your body sometime between birth and now. Okay. And if we go back one, you can see we've got prenatal trapped emotions that you picked up in the womb, preconception that you picked up before conception. They can be inherited, et cetera. You can share a trapped emotion with somebody else, or you can absorb one from someone else that's feeling really intense. In this case, it's a trapped emotion that you picked up between birth and now. So this emotion, let's see what it is. Is it in column A? No. Okay, so it's in column B. Is it in one of the odd rows? Yes. Is it in row 1? No. Is it in row 3? It's in row 3. So what's the emotion? Is it confusion? No. Is it defensiveness? No. Is it grief? Yep, the emotion is grief. Okay. All right. Now, right off the bat there, does that ring any kind of a bell for you? It may or may not.
Not specifically, but it's interesting. Right before you got to the occipital bone, I actually started to feel a sensation here in the back of my neck.
Really?
It wasn't there before. It was like, I know where he's going without.
Isn't that funny? It's cosmic. That's how it goes. Okay, so let's ask about this grief emotion. And you'll see the instructions are all in here. And so we're now at step 5. We identified the emotion, and is it necessary to identify more about this emotion? And actually your subconscious mind says no. So in that case, we can go ahead and go to intention, and we can take a magnet or just a hand. I have a magnet, so I'll use a magnet. And I'm going to swipe this magnet 3 times, once, twice, 3 times, from the just over the top of my head. And that's because the governing meridian starts at the tailbone and goes straight up like this to the inside of the upper lip. And what we're doing is we're putting energy into that meridian. And by doing that, we're releasing the trapped emotion. Kind of like how if you take a credit card out of your wallet and you rub a magnet on the magnetic strip on the back, the data is gone, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how this works. So let's see, Mary, why don't you stand up and just walk around for a second? Now, the reason why I like to have people walk around when we fix something that's structural like this, and I'm not sure if we fix this or not, but maybe, when people walk a little bit, it just helps things to settle into place. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is kind of tune into your mid upper back area that was about a 7 or an 8. And let's see what kind of a pain level you have in there now. See if there's a change that's happening.
I would say my mid back is probably down to a 4 or 5.
Okay.
The pain in my front ribs is probably still a 7.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we just fixed one thing. We just released one thing. So let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. We were looking at that occipital bone. We can just kind of click back through. And there it is. And so let's ask about this bone. Is that bone happy now? Okay, we did fix that. So now let's go back to the home page and let's ask, okay, is there another underlying reason why you're having this pain still? Yeah. And is the reason on the left side of the chart? It is. Is it in the energies area? It is. So let's go there. Okay. And is it on the left side of the chart? Yes. So is it something post-traumatic? It is. Okay. So usually when you have some kind of a blow, there will be maybe some energy there of maybe some physical trauma. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Is it something on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it a physical trauma? It is. Okay. So this is where you receive a blow, and the energy of that blow usually will just kind of go through you. But sometimes that energy will get stuck. So it stays in the body, and that's what this is. So let's ask, was this from the fall that you took? Yeah. Okay. So do we need to know anything else about this? Not really. Is there anything associated that we need to decode? No. So let's go ahead and release this. Okay. All right, here we go. So physical trauma energy. And did we release that energy from you? Yes. Okay. So now go ahead, Marion, stand up and take a lap again really quick.
I will say that my ribs feel significantly better.
Good.
Better than after my chiropractor's adjustment, I tell you.
Okay, awesome. How would you rate things now?
I probably would say my ribs are down to a 3.
Okay, good.
From a 7. My back is probably still 4.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, great. So that's how this works. So now what I want you all to think about here for a moment is that this is actually a really simple process. If you learn how to do the muscle testing, it's actually really simple. You do it once or twice, you watch it a few times, and it's easy. We have kids as young as 5 that are using the body code successfully to find imbalances, usually on their father, which I think is kind of funny. But anyway, let's ask, do you have another, is there another underlying reason why you're having this pain? And the answer is yes. Okay. So is it something on the left side of the chart? No. So is it a pathogen? Could be anything, right? Mm-hmm. Anything can cause anything is the old saying of the holistic physician. Not a pathogen. Is it a misalignment of something? It is. Let's go there. So is it something on the left side? No. Is it skeleton? So it's something in the skeleton again. And, the beauty of the body code is that you don't have to know anatomy. You don't have to know anything really except kind of the flow of how things work, but it takes you wherever you need to go. So at any given point, all you're doing is asking, well, is it something over here or over here? Right. And then is it this or this? And then it takes you there. So is it something in the appendicular skeleton? No. So it's here in the axial. Is it something on the left side? Yes. Is it in the vertebral column? Yes. Okay. So let's go there. And so again, we've got a left side and a right side of the chart. And we've got certain things on the left side and certain things on the right side, and the subconscious mind knows where we're going. And so we just have to kind of figure out, it's like charades with the subconscious. So is it something on the left side? No. Okay. So we're over here. So is it one of the cervical, whoops, I'm sorry. I clicked on that. I didn't mean to. Is it one of the cervical vertebrae? No. So is it thoracic 1 through 6 or 7 to 12? It's one of these, thoracic vertebrae 1 to 6. Okay, so it's one of these 6. So which one is it? Is it one of these on the left side? Yes. So is it T1? No. T2, it's T2. Now, if we click on this one, it'll give you some information about what the connections are. So in other words, the brain is this massive computer sending messages down the spinal cord, and then those messages go out between all the different vertebrae to the different organs and glands and tissues of the body. In this case, for many, many years, I've called this one the heart nerve. I learned that from some old-time osteopathic doctors that worked on me and saved my life when I was a kid. They called it the heart nerve, T2, because you see the connections are the heart and the valves and so on, and the lungs and bronchial tubes and so on. So possible symptoms, functional heart conditions and certain chest pains. Now, of course, as a chiropractor, you can realign this bone. And I mean, I had patients who would have heart palpitations and so on. And just by realigning this bone and taking the pressure off those nerves, the palpitations would go away and so on. So let's see, we know this bone is unhappy. Let's go down to association and we'll ask, okay, is there an associated imbalance that we need to decode? And the answer is no. So that happens sometimes. So that means we just go straight to intention. And so what we're going to do is we're going to swipe a few times. Remember that bones and all tissues ultimately are just made of atoms, and atoms are made of energy. And so we can just hold an intention and swipe a few times, okay? While we have the intention is to realign this bone, okay? And so let's ask now, did we correct that? Is that bone happy now? It is, okay. So now stand up and walk around for a second and then come back and let's see how things are doing now.
I will say I'm probably at like maybe a 2.
Okay, so we're getting there. So how are the ribs?
The ribs actually don't feel pain. They feel like they just remember pain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. And there may still be a little bit of...
They just need to loosen up.
Okay, and how would you rate the back?
The back, I would say maybe a 2. The ribs, I would say maybe a... maybe a 1 to 2 at the most.
Okay. So it's quite a bit better than it was then.
Yeah. I'm very happy with that.
Awesome. Okay. So this is how the body code works, and this is how a body code session basically works. And of course, we've got lots of body code practitioners around the world on our website at discoverhealing.com that work with people. And just like I'm working with you, Mary, at a distance, they work with people at a distance and so on. And we have over 8,000 certified emotion code practitioners now around the world. We've got, before long, we'll soon have 2,000 body code certified practitioners as well. Emotion code certification is a prerequisite to body code certification. And if you're looking for a practitioner, you can go to discoverhealing.com, and we've got a map of the world, and you can find somebody wherever you want, and they can work on you, and they can be local, or they can be on the other side of the planet. You might find that the ideal person for you is in Singapore or Berlin or whatever, it doesn't matter. So let's ask the same question again. Is there an underlying reason why you're having this pain still? Is there another underlying reason? Yes. So is this reason, and this is how this always works, remember, and I want you to understand the reason why I'm here doing this is because you can do this, and you need to learn how to do this, because there are people that need your help. You see, I can't help everybody in the world. There's no way. And so there are people that you can reach, so you can do this. I want you to imagine that you're doing this and pay attention to how this is done. It's actually really simple. What did I do? I just asked, and I'm talking to Mary's subconscious mind, right? And it's really simple, not rocket science. I just ask a question. Is there another underlying reason why you're having this pain? Her subconscious mind instantly comes up with a reason. Now I have to figure out what it is. I get a yes answer. There's a reason. And so is the reason on the left side of the chart here? No. Now to get these answers, you can use different kinds of muscle testing. We teach a lot of those different methods. You can use a pendulum. We teach how to do that too. Any kind of a dowsing device. It all works, right? And if you're super intuitive, you'll know exactly where to go, but usually it takes a long time to develop that intuition. But some of us are more advanced at that more readily than others. I mean, my daughter, Lizzie, who's 21 now, she started learning this when she was 13, and she used muscle testing for about a month. And then she realized, the answers are already there. I don't really need to muscle test, and she hasn't muscle tested since then.
Wow.
And she does really well at this. And so anyway, so this imbalance, is it on the left side of the chart? No. So it's on the right side of the chart. So we start at the top. Is it a pathogen? It could be. And you always have to be open that it could be anything, because it could be a pathogen. Is that it? No. Is it a misalignment? So there's another misalignment going on. Let's go there. And is it something on the left side of this chart? No. So is it in the skeleton? It is. So we've been there several times. So is it on the left side here? No, it's on the right side. So it's the axial skeleton. So is it one of these on the left? Yes. Is it vertebral column? No. So what does that leave? It leaves the skull. So we click on that one, and here's all the bones in the skull. And it goes even deeper. If you find out that it's a facial bone, you click on this one, there's a whole nother page of bones that come up, right? But let's see. What is this? Is it a bone on the left side of the chart? It is. Is it a facial bone? No. Is it one of the middle ear bones? No. Is it the ethmoid bone or the sphenoid bone? Okay, so this is actually the sphenoid bone. Now, the sphenoid bone is a little bone that kind of looks like, if you take it out of the skull, it looks like a bat, okay? Like it has bat wings. And right in here in front of the ears, you can actually touch the sphenoid bone. That's the only place where it comes to the surface under the skin. That bone is not happy. And this is a very, very important bone for the pumping of the cerebrospinal fluid, which is the fluid that bathes the brain and is in the ventricles of the brain, and that protects the spinal cord all the way down your spine. This bone is not happy. So let's ask, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? And the answer there is yes, okay? So we've identified a misaligned bone. Now that your body is saying, your subconscious is saying, yeah, there's some other reason. So if you just follow the directions here, you're taken to this point, and we ask, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? And your body says yes. Okay, so what we do is we go to the home page. Let's go back to the home page. And there's something connected with this, probably an underlying cause of it. That's usually what it is. Is it something on the right side of the chart here? It's on the left. Is it a toxin or something in circuits or systems? It's definitely something in the energies area. Is it on the left side here? No. Is it an allergy or an intolerance? Could be. Is it something emotional? It is. Okay. Is it on the left side here? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. Okay. So what trapped emotion is this? Is it one of these listed on the left side? Yes. Okay. So this is interesting, because these are the interesting ones, I think, because they go back to the womb, or to before you were conceived, or they're inherited. So what is this? Is it prenatal? No. Is it preconception? Is it prenatal? Is it preconception? This is what we call a preconception trapped emotion. Now, these are relatively rare, like it says right here, okay? But here's what happens. And how I discovered this was I was working on a patient. I remember this very well. We were trying to track down this trapped emotion. And I was asking questions. Well, did this occur earlier than age 20? Yes. Earlier than age 10? Yes. Earlier than birth? Yes. Did it occur in the first trimester? No. Second trimester? No. Third trimester? No. Wait, what? Did it occur earlier than birth? Yes. Did it occur earlier than conception? Yes. So here's what I believe. Okay. Now I know we all believe different things, but just humor me for a minute. I'll just explain to you how I see this. I believe that before we are born, before we're conceived, we live in another place with God. We're in this place of incredible beauty and unconditional love and just total perfection and everything else. However, we're sentient beings, and we can live and move, and we don't have bodies, but we're spirits. And I believe that those spirits that we have inside of us look exactly like our physical bodies look. And so sometimes we experience things that maybe are intense. In fact, I'll tell you what I believe, just to expand on this a little bit, because I think it's really interesting. What I have found through testing, and I don't guarantee this is 100% true, but I believe it is that before we come into this world, each one of us has had a chance to come here before as an angel to shepherd somebody else through their mortal experience. And I think that's where a lot of the emotional baggage comes from that we come into the world with, that we're conceived with. And so just for fun here, we can ask about this trapped emotion. Let's figure out what the emotion is, and then we'll ask about this. Okay, so and we'll see if try to get an idea where it came from. Is this emotion listed in the chart here in column A? It is. Is it in one of the odd rows? No. So is it in row 2 or row 4? It's in row 4. So is the emotion anger? No. Is it bitterness? No. Is it guilt? It's an emotion of guilt, okay, that you brought into the world with you from somewhere before you were conceived. So just for fun, we could ask, did you experience this emotion, and did this emotion become trapped during an experience that you had when you were actually an angel, kind of like a guardian angel to somebody as they were going through their mortal life? I get a yes. So the interesting thing, and how I kind of came up with this was as I was reading over the years experiences that people would have where they would die, like on the operating table, or they would die in a car wreck or something. Oftentimes, as they're looking down at their body or they're looking down at the wrecked car, oftentimes they would notice that there were other angels there, other beings there, and a lot of the time they would be ancestors or yet to be born children of theirs, right? So it's just really interesting. So anyway, that's what shows up for this, for whatever that's worth. So it's guilt. And so let's ask, do we need to know more about this? No, we probably figured out more than we wanted to, I suppose. But
this is so interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating, right? And I think that that's why a lot of the time when we go to certain places in the world, we can have these feelings like we've been there before. And I've had some amazing experiences. I'll tell you something. My ancestors on my father's side were from Ireland. And I went to Ireland. I went to Dublin in 2010, and I taught a seminar there. And I'll try to tell the story without getting emotional, but it was so wild because at the end of the seminar, I all of a sudden felt that I was surrounded with all of these spirits, the spirits of my ancestors. And it was so crazy because I just had this feeling like I was home, and I didn't want to leave. And it was so wild. I started to cry. I couldn't believe it. It makes me emotional now just thinking about it. But anyway, so let's get rid of this.
Interesting, because I'm actually from Ireland.
Well, who knows, right? Yeah, our ancestors maybe knew each other. So let's clear the guilt, okay? The emotion of guilt. And let's ask, did we get rid of that emotion of guilt? We did. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's see. And we found that because your sphenoid bone was out of whack, right? So we can go back a few to the sphenoid bone. And let's ask, okay, is the sphenoid bone happy now? It is. Okay, cool. So your skull is going to be functioning a lot better now than it was before. You had two bones that weren't working. Stand up and walk around a little bit, and let's see how everything feels now.
Feels really good.
Feels really good. Okay. Do you have any pain anywhere still?
I have pain that wasn't there before. Which is so bizarre. Like,
that's not my fault.
No, but it's not. It's like a mild, like almost like when you adjust one thing, like something else. But it's not pain, like a lot of pain. It's just like a noticing that it's awareness.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So those areas that we were working on, overall, you were saying it's like a 7 or an 8. How would you rate everything now, taken together?
I would say. I would say my back pain is all gone.
Okay, back to 0. Good.
I would say the ribs are just barely even there, like a half.
The ribs are 0.5. Okay, cool. Isn't that fun?
I know. It's so fun.
Man. I'll tell you, the ego part of me would love to take credit for this because it's so cool, but I'm just the messenger. This came through me, and my job is to just take it to the world because everybody can learn how to do this, and it's really so much fun. So let's go back to the homepage, Mary, and let's ask, okay, is there another underlying reason why you're having this pain? I get a no. Is there anything else that your body would like us to clear or work on right now? No. So that's essentially how this works. Okay. So yeah, that was really fun. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you joining us. And
That was so special.
yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? Really a lot of fun. And so, I'm telling you guys, you start doing this with your family members and your loved ones, and you find out, wow, this is really cool. And then if you want, you can become certified. Let me put that up for a minute here. The certification information. So if you want to get certified, you can go to discoverhealing.com/certification. You start with the emotion code. You get certified in it. You've got 6 months to do it. Most people are doing it in, I think, about 6 weeks. Now we have a new program that's simpler. It's easier. You've got daily homework. You can work on yourself. You have to work on some animals because they get trapped emotions too. And it's just a really fun program. And we've always gotten really high reviews for it, but they're even higher now that we've introduced the new one, the revision. So thank you, Mary. We'll let you go. Yeah, you're so welcome. That was really, really fun. Stay in touch, Kay. Let us know how you do. And hopefully this will just, hopefully these results should last and should continue with you, and hopefully they'll just get even better. But now for everybody else, what I want you to think about here for a minute is Mary certainly had a reason to have pain. She fell roller skating 3 weeks ago, right? And so she's had all this pain. But what I want you to notice here is that even though she had a good reason to have that pain, yet there were deeper underlying causes why that pain was manifesting and not going away. Now, pain is just one kind of symptom, right? There are all kinds of symptoms that we have. There's digestive disorders, there's infertility, there's asthma, there's depression, anxiety, phobias, panic attacks, PTSD, eating disorders. I mean, you name it. If you can show a symptom to me, I can find the underlying imbalances. But now the beauty of the body code is that if you have any kind of a symptom, you can find the underlying imbalances too. And even better than that, you can find the imbalances that are going on in these various different areas of the body code before the symptoms even arise. And the old saying of the doctors who practice preventative medicine is, may you never know what you've prevented, right? Who wants to end up with symptoms? Who wants to end up with some kind of a disease and then have to deal with that? It's so much better to find the imbalances first. And you can totally do that with the body code because you're talking directly to the source, which is the subconscious mind itself. So really, really fun. Thanks, Mary. And we'll stay in touch, Kay. Let us know how you do.
Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, that was cool. Okay. So let's see here. I think we may have another person to work on. Let me take a look at my list here. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see here. Great. Okay, so the staff is going to say, oh, here we go. We've got Karen Kidd. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
How are you? Gee, I haven't seen you for a long time.
I know. I've been under the weather. I have been through major changes, major challenges.
Well, awesome. Let's take a look. You know what? Actually, hang on one second. I'm going to grab a Kleenex. I'll be right back, and then we'll take a look at you. All right? Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, so Karen, let's see here. Fill me in. What's going on with you?
I worked at the airlines and working with bags, moving about 18 to 33,000 pounds of luggage a day.
Wow. Just yourself?
No, I had help. I had a crew of, 3 to 5 people, but
But you're doing a lot of lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot with the core. And then I had 2 surgeries back to back in 2020, right before COVID hit. And so I had a hysterectomy, trying to solve the problem that I was having in a bulge disc at L5. Had broke a rib in 2017. My foundation has just been through it. I've had 5 kids, all C-sections.
Wow.
Then bladder malignancy surgery right after the hysterectomy. So it's just taking a longer time to recover.
Okay.
And now my pelvic is just completely, they're saying it's done. I'm 44 years old. It's completely arthritic. I have the skills and now I just need your help.
Well, let's see what we can find on you. So, so you're in physical pain right now.
Well, connecting to you, of course, it's like, oh, it's relieved, but it's usually at a 10 plus. I go into spinal. I do pain management with epidurals every 6 months for the last year. Done some radio frequencies on the nerves to cauterize it. My cortisol's elevated. I basically can't get into parasympathetic. My body's locked up from the sciatic down, just running, like the nervous system doesn't want to comply. So I know the somatic nervous system's having some issues with resetting with the sedations. So I've been doing a lot of work. Just sometimes we need a little extra help.
Okay. All right. So, so let me ask you, so you're not really feeling any pain right now. If you stand up and you move around a little bit, okay.
Right now, it's on the left side.
Left side.
Mm-hmm. About the sciatic.
Okay.
Just wrapped around. It's
Okay.
about a 7.
About a 7. Okay. Okay. That gives us, it gives us a number anyway. If you can hear my dog, just ignore. Okay.
Okay. I have one of those too.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Awesome. So, so let's take a moment and we'll ask for some help from up above, and feel free to do that as well yourself, or any of you that are on the call. You know, if you want to do that and join us, that's totally fine. It's just, we just take a moment and ask for help. No big deal. Here we go. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I learned how important that little moment of asking for help is, because during the years that I was in practice, you know, that was just a habit, and nobody ever knew that I was, you know, saying a prayer for them, basically, to try to help them and ask for help for them. Nobody ever knew I was doing that during all those years that I was in practice. But there were times when somebody would come in that had some kind of problem I didn't know how to address or help, and I would offer that silent prayer for help, and the information would just flood into me in response about what to do and how to look at this. And that was rare. I mean, that happened just a handful of times in all those years. But I learned from that something really important, and that is that higher power, you know, God, source energy, creator, however you want to refer to that higher power, you know, we all believe different things, and that's fine. But that higher power, I can tell you, is totally aware of what we're doing, and always is there to help us. All we have to do is ask. So, okay, here we go. So you're about a 7 there. So here we go, Karen. Let's go take a look at our body code.
One that really impacts it too is in 2018, you know, stress impacts it. I've had, you know, plenty of deaths back to back. And then I had a paternity issue reveal. And this is all because of your work. Thankfully, you have helped me immensely since 2009. But that was a big stressor. And then my sister got cancer, and just, you know, it layers and layers and layers on when this is just an ending, beautiful story.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do to help you today. Now, one of the things that you can do with the subconscious mind, you see, the subconscious mind of an individual is kind of like a search engine like Google. And what you can do is you can ask for priorities if you want to. Whatever question you ask, you're going to get some kind of an answer. Imagine going to Google and typing in the word "the" and hitting, you know, search. Well, you're going to get, I don't know how many trillion, bazillions of responses, but they're going to be worthless. And the subconscious mind is kind of the same way. So you can kind of narrow things down. So what you can do is you can have an intention that you want the subconscious to give you back the most important thing. And I kind of have that in my mind usually anyway, but I'm going to verbalize that right now for you. So Karen, what we want to know is, out of all the possible imbalances that are going on with you, what's the most important thing that we can help you with right now that'll help you with this pain the most right now? What's the most important thing we can do? Is there something? Yes. So the subconscious mind has something in mind. And is that something, now playing charades with your subconscious, is it on the left side of this chart? Yes. So is it in the energies area? It is. Let's go there. Okay. So is it on the left side of this chart? No. Is it an allergy or an intolerance? No. Is it something emotional? It is. Okay. And is it something on the left side? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. Okay. And is it one of these on the left side? No. Is it a common emotion, shared? So this is what we call a shared trapped emotion. Now, a shared trapped emotion is where you and someone else experienced the same event at the same time and experienced the same kind of emotion. And so you kind of co-created this energy. Now, sometimes this is just two people that share the emotional energy. If you release it from one, it clears from the other. Sometimes it's a whole family, okay? It could be even more people. So let's ask about this. Let's first of all identify the emotion. This is interesting. It's a shared trapped emotion. We don't see these that often, but they do show up sometimes. Shared trapped emotion. And what is the emotion? Is it listed here in the chart in column A? Yes. Is it in one of the odd rows? No. So is it in row 2 or 4? It's in row 4. So is the emotion anger? No. Bitterness? No. Is it guilt, hatred, or resentment? It's an emotion of resentment that you're sharing with somebody. Okay. Are you? And we could ask for more details. We could ask, are you sharing this with more than one person? Yes. With 2 people, with 3, with 4. So 3 people, you're sharing this with 3 people, 3 other people besides you. So there are 4 people total sharing this energy. Do we need to know more about this? We do. So Karen, how old are you right now?
I will be 44 in 11 days. Does that count?
Yes. Doesn't matter. Okay. So when did this happen? Did this happen earlier? We'll divide your life in half. Did it occur earlier than age 20? It did. Earlier than age 10? No. Between 10 to 15? No. 16, 17, 18. This goes back to around age 18. So, you might have been chronologically 17 or maybe 19, but it looks like age 18. So a shared emotion of guilt, age 18.
I lost my first pregnancy then.
Lost your first pregnancy then. Okay, let's ask, did this have anything to do with that? I get a yes. So, okay, do we need to know anything else about this? We don't. That's interesting. So let's release this, okay? And let's ask, did we release that trapped emotion? Yes. Okay, did that release from the other people as well? It did, because it's really only one energy, excuse me, that people are sharing. Okay, so
I've attributed a lot of trauma in the pelvic area for pregnancies. Yeah.
So stand up and move around for a minute and let's see how things are doing. Okay, and just see what kind of a shift we've made there.
Some bone adjustment. It's
so some things are moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, got a good pop on the left backside.
Okay, awesome. So so you were rating it before at about a 7, 0 to 10. How'd you rate it now? Just out of curiosity.
About a 6.
About a 6. Okay, good. All right, let's go back to the homepage and let's see what else shows up here. So
on that one too.
Wait, you broke up. Say that again.
I said, and a few tears on that one too.
Oh, really? Okay, good. I'll tell you something, and this is for all of you. When you're working on yourself, you can usually clear 80 or 90% of the things that you have, but you'll always need somebody else to help you to get the other 10 or 20%, because there'll be things that you you won't be able to find yourself. I mean, that's just how it is. There's so much a part of you that you'll need help, but that's okay. So we're back to the body code homepage. Let's ask, is there an underlying reason? Now we want the biggest reason we can get. We want the most bang for the buck here. Okay. We want the biggest thing we can find, and we always do. But I'm just kind of verbalizing that for all of you so that you can see that the subconscious mind will kind of give you whatever you ask for. And and Karen's had lots of trauma and lots of work done. But so, we don't want to waste any time. We want the biggest thing we can get. So what is it? Is there something? Yeah. Is it on the left side? No, of the chart here. It's on the right side. Is it a pathogen? Could be, but it's not. Is it a misalignment or something? It is. So let's go to the misalignments. Is it something on the left side of this chart? No. Is it in the skeleton? It is. Okay. And is it in the appendicular skeleton? No. So it's over here in axial. Is it one of these on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it in the vertebral column? No. So it's actually a bone in the skull. Now, the skull actually, you'd be surprised how often it shows up for a lot of people, but is it something on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it a facial bone? It could be, but it's not. Is it one of the middle ear bones? Could be. Anything can cause anything. Okay, remember that. And that makes this really easy and simple because you don't have to have, preconceived ideas about, well, it should be this or whatever. No, it's just anything can cause anything. So just keep an open mind. Is it the ethmoid bone? No. So it's your sphenoid bone. Okay, we saw this with Mary also. Sphenoid bone is really all the bones are important, but if you could rank the bones of the skull in importance, the sphenoid bone it's kind of almost like it's like the keystone in a Roman arch, in my opinion. You know how the Romans would build the arch on a wooden frame and they'd put a keystone in there that was kind of a bone or a stone shaped like this, and that would hold the whole arch together. That's what this bone is like. So this bone is not happy. Is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded here? Yes. Okay. So the plot thickens. Sphenoid bone. And there's some kind of associated imbalance, probably an underlying cause. Let's go back out to the home page. And we're now looking for whatever's associated, what the underlying cause probably of this thing is, or whatever's connected to it. Is it something on the left side? Yes. Is it an energy of some kind? It is. Let's go there. Is it something on the left side of the chart? Yes. Is it something post-traumatic? No. Is it something offensive or something mental? It's something mental. So we'll go here. All right. So we've got a number of these. Is it one of these on the left side? Yes. Is it a will to? No, it's a no will to or a broadcast message. It's a no will to. Now, it used to be when the body code first came out, this category was just one thing. It was will to die, because sometimes we have a will to die. Mm-hmm. This one was no will to live, because sometimes we lose our desire to live. Let's click on this one.
And when you're in a body, it's hard to want to stay.
Yeah, I get that. All right. So what is this? Now, of course, we give you kind of a list here of things. I mean, luckily, a lot of the time, you'll find what it is on the list. Sometimes you won't, and so you might have to just use your intuition. But let's ask. Let's see if we can get close. So, is it something on the left side here? This no will to in column A? Nope. So it's something in column B? Yep. Okay, pretty close anyway. Is it in one of the odd rows? No. So is it in row 2 or row 4 or 6? It's in row 4. Okay. So, and this is coming from the deep subconscious mind. Okay. Is it a no will to be seen? Is it a no will to heal or no will to be healed? So is it a no will to be healthy? It's a no will to be healthy. Now, obviously, if I were to ask you, do you want to be healthy? Obviously, you would say yes. I mean, consciously, you want to be healthy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Very
However, your subconscious mind has this other agenda. Okay. For whatever reason, it has something in there that's, that we would call a no will to be healthy. So let me write that down. All right. Okay. So just like with everything else, Now that we've identified this, we can go down here to association. We can ask, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded here? Yes. Okay. Now think about this. This is what we call a domino effect. All right. We've got this bone that is not working right in the middle of your skull. And what's connected to that is this no will to be healthy. But what's connected to that is something else. Okay. So this is what we call the domino effect. This can happen sometimes. It's really interesting. But the reason why we do this is because we really, truly want to get to the absolute underlying roots of things, see? And so think about it. If your car has an oil leak because you ran over a curb, you can keep adding oil. Keep adding oil. You'll need to add a lot more oil than you normally would, right? But if you actually find the underlying problem and fix that, then you don't have to keep adding oil anymore. All right, so here we go. No will to be healthy, but there's something connected to that. Because when I asked, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? I get a yes. So there's something driving this probably. Let's go back to the home page. And is this something on the left side of the chart? Yes. Is it something in the energies area? It is. Okay. Is it something on the left side here? No. So is it an allergy? Could be an intolerance. No. Is it something emotional? It is. Let's go here. Is it on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. And is it one of these on the left side of this chart? No. Is it a common trapped emotion? It is. Okay. So it happened between birth and now. Okay. Hang on just a second. I'm going to turn my volume off on this thing. There we go.
Thinking I got a hat on. All this hair.
All right. I wish I had some of that hair, frankly. So, all right. It's a common trapped emotion. What emotion is it? Is it listed in column A? No. So it's in column B. Is it in one of the odd rows? Yes. Is it in row 1? It is. So is the emotion effort unreceived? Is that what it is? No. Is it heartache? No. Is it insecurity? Yes. Okay. So there's a no will to be healthy that is being, I think, driven by a trapped emotion of insecurity. Do we need to know more about this? We don't. So let's release the trapped emotion of insecurity. Okay. And so remember, with this particular situation, remember the bone was unhappy. We found that. And what was causing that, we think, was this no will to be healthy. What was driving that was this trapped emotion of insecurity. And we cleared that. Let's ask, is there anything else driving or anything else associated with that no will to be healthy? No. Okay. So let's go back to that. Okay. Remember, we found the no will to be healthy here. We cleared something that was connected with that, probably driving it, a feeling of insecurity. You can that could make sense, right? I mean, if things are really insecure like they are in the world now, well, maybe it's better to not be healthy. Maybe it's better to just check out while we can, right?
When I found out my paternity, the whole palette of my head started shifting, my spine started shifting, and after working on it, I can feel almost you're straightening me out. Like I feel like I'm like you're pulling on a dowel or something. I don't know. It just feels better.
Cool. Hey, well, I just work here, so whatever. Awesome. So let's come back because we cleared the insecurity, and that was like the third thing down, right? We had the bone, right? This bone being caused by a no will to be healthy, and then that was being caused, we think, by this emotion of insecurity. And we asked if there was anything else that was causing the no will to be healthy. Let's ask, is that no will to be healthy still there? No, so it released itself automatically when we cleared the trapped emotion of insecurity, right? So now let's go back to the sphenoid bone. Remember, that's really how that's where we started on this little trek. And let's go back to that. And is that bone happy now? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. And that's why she's feeling like things are unraveling. See? So go ahead and stand up and move around for a minute. And let's see how that's feeling now.
I can finally feel the energy reaching where the somatic system wasn't reaching to that L5. I feel like I'm better circulation.
Gooder's fine.
That's so nice.
Cool. So on a 0 to 10 scale, you were saying it was about a 7 before with that left side sciatica and so on. How's that feeling now?
It's moved over to the right side and it's about a 3.
Move to the right and it's about a 3. Okay, good.
But it's like the energy wants to move. It's good. It's feeling much better.
Yeah. See, energy gets blocked in the body, and this is how you find those energy blockages and release them. There is no other method like this in the world. This is actually patented. This method, and the nice thing about it is anybody can learn it. You can learn it. You need to learn how to do this. I don't care who you are. You can learn how to do this. And when you start doing it, you'll find out how fun this is, right? And really how simple it is and how easy it is. And gee, why not? I mean,
it's super fun. It makes sense that I had to come to you, though. The not willing to heal myself, heal thyself. I needed you. Yeah. It's so fun. Thank you.
And see, you probably wouldn't have found that on yourself.
No.
You know, there are just some things you can't find. I mean, I remember I thought that I had cleared out everything on myself years ago. And it wasn't until a couple of years after the Emotion Code book came out that I had my daughter work on me, Natalie. She was in Seattle and I was here in Southern Utah. And she found this inherited trapped emotion of hopelessness that I had had all my life and I had given to her. And getting rid of that changed my life. And I'm sure that I never would have found it because it was such a part of me. It was just this faint background feeling of hopelessness all the time. And I didn't even know that it was there until it was gone. And it changed my life, changed her life too. She's one of the most amazing artists that I have ever met. But until that hopeless emotion from 22 generations ago, from a grandmother that we think probably lived in Ireland, I think she had never painted anything. And so clearing these things can really help you to manifest your gifts and who you really are. All right, so let's come back to the body code and let's ask, okay, is there another underlying imbalance here that we can work on with you? Is there another underlying reason for this? Yes or no? Is there something else we can work on? Okay, right now your body says, no, that's enough right now. Thank you. It's going to take a while for you probably to really completely, shift everything that's going to be shifting from this. But that should make a big difference for you.
I'm feeling the water elements moving me. It feels really good. Thank you. Now I can go for crystals.
Okay, awesome. All right, Karen. Really, really nice to see you again after all these years.
You as well. Thank you.
Take care. All
okay.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So let's talk to, is it Andrea or Andrea?
Yes, Andrea.
Andrea. Awesome. Andrea. Fantastic. So tell me, what's going on with you and give us a number.
A number. Well, I have been having pain in my feet for over 8 years now.
Okay.
And when I get up in the morning, it's like I'm stepping on glass.
Really?
My shoes full of glass. Yeah, it's really, really. And in the morning, it's a 10. And yeah, I get used to it during the day, but sometimes I kind of, after 3 hours standing, I get like killer pain. And it's like in between a 7 and a 9.
Okay.
At the moment, it's a 7 with a very strong sting on my right foot.
Was there anything that you remember that that might have triggered this, or did you have any kind of an injury?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I'm a dancer, I have to say.
Oh, okay. Are you still dancing?
Yes. I dance with pain.
But you're dancing in pain?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do a lot of breaks because I know it kind of sort of helps.
Okay.
Not make it worse.
All right.
But I also have like pains that come, like at the moment it's my finger and then my back, upper neck, and sometimes it's the hips or the knees. They come and go. But it's always my feet.
Okay.
Sorry if I speak bad English. I'm from Germany.
Oh, you're from Germany. Okay, so you're in
Yes.
Germany now.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Oh, that's great. Well, we've got a lot of followers over there in Germany. You know, we have the body code is actually available in German.
I know. I've read it. I've read the emotion code.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm coming back over actually where I'll be in, you know, if everything works out, I'll be in Frankfurt in May for a body code seminar. Not exactly sure what the dates are on that, but that's coming up in May. All right, so let's take a look here. Now I'd like all of the rest of you that are on here to imagine that Andrea is your sister, okay, or your wife, or maybe your mom, and she's got these issues going on. What could you do? Is there anything you could possibly do to help her with this? And the answer is yes, okay. And what I'm going to show you right now is essentially the same thing that you could do, all right? And so let's see what's going on with Andrea, or it's Andrea, right?
Yes, Andrea.
Andrea. All right, let's take a look here. So first thing we'll do is we'll take a moment and ask for some help. Just acknowledge that higher power, and kind of what we're kind of doing is just acknowledging that we do need help, okay?
Can I pray with you?
Yeah, sure. So when we ask for that help, then that opens that channel and we can receive that help. So here we go. Give me just a moment. And yeah, feel free to join me, and any of the rest of you that want to join me in a moment for a moment here. Just takes a second. Thank you. All right, cool. So let's see if we're connected. All right. Let's see if that energy of ours is entangled. You're in Germany, you know, I'm here in the US, but let's ask, are we connected energetically? Yes. Okay. So that means that I can act as proxy, we call it, for you. Yes. Okay. Same thing. All right. Is our energy entangled? Same question. Yes. Okay, good. All right. So no problem. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could even be off world. We haven't tried that yet, but I'd like to.
Next
I have
time.
no doubt it would work the same way. You could be on Jupiter or the moon or whatever. Let's ask, now again, we're talking to your subconscious mind. Is there an underlying reason for this pain that you've been having in your feet? Yes. Okay. So let's go to the body code here. And there's an underlying reason. So right now there may be, again, there could be several underlying reasons. We don't know how many, but right now your subconscious mind is giving us a reason. So what is the reason? Well, it's got to be in one of these 6 categories. So we'll start with the left side. We'll ask, is it on the left side, this imbalance? Yes, it is. It's on the left side. Is it on the right side? No. So this first imbalance is on the left side of the chart. Is it in the energy area? No. So is it in circuits or systems? Yes. So we'll go there. Okay. Now, the fun thing about the body code is that I never know. Nobody using the body code ever knows what's going to show up, because the thing is, you could take 10 people like Andrea with foot pain, and they'd all have different underlying reasons. See? So you never know what's going to show up. You just allow the subconscious to guide you there, and it's really fun. So let's see, what is this first imbalance? I don't know what it is consciously, neither does Andrea, but her subconscious mind knows, and it's talking to mine because our energies are entangled. So what is this first thing? Is it on the left side of this chart? No. So is it an organ? No. Is it a gland? No. So that leaves energy body. That's the only other choice here. So let's go there. Is it something on the left side of this chart? No. Is it a chakra? No. So that means the only thing left is meridian. It's got to be that. So there's main meridians and extraordinary meridians. Is it one of the main meridians? Yes or no? No, it's not. It's one of the extraordinary meridians. Okay, fine. So we've got a few of these. Let's see, the eight of these. So is it one of these on the left side? No. So is it the conception meridian? No. Is it governing? No. Is it penetrating or girdle? It's the penetrating meridian. Now, the penetrating meridian, you can read all about it once you find what you're looking for. And what happens to people is as they're using the body code, they're actually learning. It's a self-study course, and you continue to learn and learn and learn as you use it. And we won't take the time today to learn, to read all of this. But let's take a look here. This particular meridian regulates the chi and the blood circulation inside the 12 main meridians. influences and regulates menstruation and so on, and it's got other associations and symptoms and et cetera. But let's go down here to decoding and find out what we need to do. So is this meridian, is this imbalanced meridian on the left side of your body? No. So that means it's on the right side, okay? So let's go down to association here, and we'll ask, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? Yeah. Okay, so I want to write this down so I don't get lost here.
Me too.
Yes, okay. All right, cool. So right penetrating meridian. There's something else going on with this. Something's associated, right? Is that true? Yeah. Is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? Yes. Okay. So let's go back out to the home page, and that's what our instruction is right here. Okay. Go to the home page. So we go to the home page, and now we want to know, okay, what's the next thing we need to find? What's associated with this? Is it something on the left side? Yes. Is it an energy? It is. Okay. So we go there. Is it one of these on the left side? No. Is it an allergy or an intolerance or something emotional? It's something emotional. Okay. And is it on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. Okay. And so is it one of these on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it prenatal or preconception or inherited? It's inherited. Okay. So we haven't had one of these yet today. So an inherited trapped emotion is inherited. We receive these emotional energies from mom or dad at the moment of conception, and they might have received them from their mom or dad when they were conceived, and these can go back for generations, right? So let's find out what the emotion is, and then we'll ask some more questions. So let's see here, and I'm going to make a couple of notes. All right, so this inherited emotion, what is it? Listed in the chart here in column A. Yes. Is it in one of the odd rows? Yes. Is it in row 1? No. Is it in row 3 or row 5? It's in row 5. So is the emotion blaming? No. Is it dread? No. Fear. So the emotion is fear. Okay. Inherited fear. And now we need to figure out a little bit about the genealogy of this inherited emotion. The subconscious mind always likes us to do that, so we just do it as a matter of course. Did you get this from your mom? No. So this came from your dad. Okay, so he gave it to you at conception. And did he get this from somebody earlier? Yes, from his dad. Yep. So your dad got it from his dad. And does it go back further? No. So it was your grandfather. Before your dad was conceived, your grandfather experienced some intense fear. And that became trapped in his body. And then he shared that with your dad when he was conceived, and then your dad shared that, passed that on to you. Science is finding out, you see, it's really interesting, but science is finding out that animals will pass down traumatic memories of things that happened to them, to their offspring, and that these memories will go down, they're finding, even in lower animals, up to 14 generations. And human beings do this too. Scientists have no idea how this is done. Okay, it's very mysterious, but this is how it's done. It's energy. Okay, so let's see here. We know we've got this inherited fear. It goes back. Do you know anything about your grandfather's life? Your dad's dad? Anything?
Not
scary?
much.
Not
like
much.
he grew up in Chile.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Like
No worries.
I'm actually born Chilean, and I moved over here when I was 3.
Okay. Well, he experienced something that was, created this trapped emotion of fear. So let me ask you something. Do you have any kids?
One daughter.
One daughter. Okay. And she's your biological daughter?
Absolute.
Because you could have passed this to her. Let's ask, did you pass this trapped emotion of fear to her when she was conceived? Yes. So she's got this as well. All right. So do we need to know anything else about this? We don't. Once you figure out that genealogy, that's all you need to know. So to release this, we do 10 swipes.
Can I do it too?
You can. Doesn't matter. You don't need to, because I'm acting as a, but you can if you want to. Yeah, 10 swipes. So let's ask now, did we release that inherited trapped emotion from you? Did it also release from your dad? Yes. And from his dad? Yes. Okay. So even though, your grandfather's probably passed on, is your dad still alive?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Yeah. So we released it from both of them. And what's interesting is that it doesn't matter how far back, these can go, 20 generations or maybe a little more. It releases, we find, from all those ancestors all the way back. And so what's interesting about this, is that this world, you look at the things that are going on in the world, and you have to understand that what's happening is the world is in labor. That's how I look at it. The world is in labor, trying to bring forth this new world that's going to be governed by love, okay, unconditional love. Well, the old power structures that have been in place for a long time, they have a different idea, but they're not going to win, but, they're going to try as hard as they can. But you see, in order for us to transform this world and get to that new world, we can't do that unless we bring along all these people that have lived in this world. They need healing, and all the animals, they need healing as well. And so that's the big picture about this work. It's about helping to transform the world because the world needs transforming. And this is all about bringing light into the world, light into our lives, bringing back the birthright of healing that every single one of us has. And we've had it all along. We just didn't know it. And what's nice about this work is that it's designed to do just that, to bring back that gift to you. All right. So did that also release from your daughter? It did. Now I want you to stand up for a minute, okay, and walk around, and let's see how your feet are doing compared to how they were doing before.
Same.
About the same, about a 7.
Well, maybe down to 6, but it's still very solid.
Yeah, maybe a 6. Okay, no worries. All right, so let's go back to the body code here, to the homepage. Now, the thing is, sometimes it can take time to get results to happen for people. Sometimes we get results immediately. Sometimes things take time. Sometimes you can need multiple sessions over a period of time to get results. But let's see what we can figure out here today. And we'll clear as much as we can today. And so let's ask, looking at our body code, is there another underlying reason? Is there another underlying reason why you've got this pain in your feet? Yes. So actually, let's go back to that meridian. Do you remember we found that meridian, and then we found there was an inherited emotion that was kind of a cause of that, it looks like. Is that penetrating meridian on was that right side, is that meridian balanced and happy? It is. Okay, so we took care of that. I just wanted to kind of do some housekeeping there, make sure we got that. So now let's ask, is there another underlying reason why you've got all this foot pain? What's the reason? See, the thing is, when you've got foot pain like that, or really any kind of pain, it's just a way for your body to get your attention. The pain is not the problem, although it can certainly seem like the problem. It's really just like a check engine light in your car. The pain is your body's way of saying, hey, there's some other kind of problem going on. There are other imbalances. And so I'm going to get your attention by making you feel this pain. So let's see here. All right. Is there another underlying reason for this foot pain? Yes. Is it on the left side of the chart? Yes. Is it in the energies area? No. Is it in circuits or systems? It is. Okay. Let's go there. So is it something on the left side here? Yes. Is it a disconnection? It is. Okay. Is it on the left side here? No. So is it that your spirit is out of your body to some degree? No. Is it a spirit physical disconnection? No. So it's what we call a spirit break. All right. So here's what happens. Let me ask if this is affecting your spirit heart, and the answer is yes. Okay. Is it affecting your whole body? No. So let me explain this. We all know about that phrase, broken heart. But the reality of it is you actually can have a broken heart. Your heart can actually break. Now, here's how it works, okay? If you think about the fact that there's a spirit within each one of us that has been seen by various people throughout history. And that spirit that is inside of each one of us looks exactly like us. If I could take the spirit out of my body, or if I could take the spirit, for example, out of your body and put it right next to you, it would look exactly like you. And if we were to look inside of your chest and look at your heart and their beating, it would be about the size of your clenched fist. And it would probably look pretty normal, like any other heart of a woman your age and your height and weight and so on. But if we could look into your spirit body and look at the spirit heart, the spirit counterpart of your physical heart, that spirit heart would appear to be broken in some way or torn in some way. So let's ask about this. Let's go down to step 2. Do we need to know more about this disconnection? We don't really. So we'll skip down here to association. We know you've got a broken heart. And you might think, well, what does that have to do with her feet? Well, anything can cause anything, right? So is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded here? Yes. Let's go back out to the home page and let's ask about this. Is there an underlying reason or something associated? Yes. And is it on the left side? Yes. And is it an energy? Yes. Usually associated things will be in the energy area, you'll find. Is it something on the left side here? Yes. Is it something post-traumatic? It is. Is it on the left side? Yes. Is it a physical trauma? No. It's what we call a physical emotional shock. Now, physical emotional shock is where basically at some point you got hit with some emotional blow, okay? Like getting hit with really bad news. You know, sometimes people will say things like, man, when I found out about that, I felt like I'd been hit by a truck, right? It's not a physical blow. It's an emotional blow that is almost like a physical blow. It's like maybe finding out that somebody unexpectedly that you were very close to has passed away. Or
how did you know?
Oh, is that what you think it might be?
Well, the thing is, it happened. I'm very, very empathetic.
Okay.
So I feel the pain of a lot of people. Okay. And when the people are very close to me, it just hits me. And it was last year, and it was, oh, wow, that's a long time ago. The other one is a colleague that died, and she was the age of my daughter. So it kind of hit me strong.
Okay. So let's ask about this. Okay. So what was this about? Was this actually about somebody who died? Yeah. And was it the more recent death? It was the one that was further back, the colleague. Yeah. It was her daughter that died, or?
Pardon?
Yeah, it was the one that was further back, that death. And that is what it was. Do we need to know more about this? Not really. Let's go down a little bit and let's ask, is there an associated imbalance we need to decode? Not really. Let's go ahead and release this one. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3 swipes. And let's ask, did we release that physical, we call it a physical emotional shock. Did we clear that? We did. Okay. So now go ahead, stand up and walk around for a minute and let's see what kind of an effect that has. That's far enough.
5.
Okay.
5.
How would you rate your feet now? Just out of curiosity. How are your feet so far?
On a 5.
So they're about a 5. Okay, so we're getting there. Okay, so
when I stretch it.
Now we don't know. We had that physical emotional shock. How did we find that? Because we found that you had a spirit break. Okay, broken heart. All right. So is your heart, spirit heart, still broken? It is. Okay. Is there another associated cause for that? No. Okay. So what we can do now is, if you go down to intention, you'll see we can just swipe a few times while holding an intention to heal that break completely. Okay. And let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. We'll just swipe a few times with that intention, and let's ask, did we heal that broken heart of yours? That spirit heart broken. Is it broken anymore? No. So now what I want you to do is stand up and walk around again. Okay. And let's see what kind of a shift that's made. Sometimes when you clear the underlying causes of a broken heart, it'll just come right back together and you don't have to do anything. In this case, we cleared that big underlying cause of the death, but the heart was still broken. So we had to just swipe a few times with intention to kind of weld that heart back together. How do your feet feel now?
Well, the left one is on a 2.
Okay.
The right one has still got the sting, but it's like on the 5 still. That sting on the right is still there.
All right.
The left one has gone down.
Good. Okay. Awesome. So you fix with the body code, you just fix one thing at a time, fix whatever you find. and we fixed that broken heart. So now, and that will probably continue to have a very positive healing effect for you as time goes on. Okay, so that's
Sometimes
always.
things need time.
Sorry.
Sometimes things need time to heal because
Yes.
it manifested in such a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's okay. So let's ask: is there another underlying reason for the foot pain that you have? Yes, there's another reason. And what is that? Is it on the left side of the chart? Yes. Is it in the energies area? It is. We'll go there. Is it on the left side of this chart? No. Is it an allergy or an intolerance? Is it something emotional? It's a reverberation this time. You never know what's going to show up. So is it one of these on the left side? No. So is it organ communication? Is it an emotional reverberation? Okay, so this is an emotional reverberation. This is similar to a trapped emotion. We used to call this a resonance, but to be technically correct, we changed the name. You find an emotion, and let's find the emotion, then I'll explain it. So let's see, is the emotion in column A? No. So it's in column B. Is it in one of the odd rows? Yes. Is it in row 1? No. Row 3? No. Row 5? Row 5. So is it conflict? No. Creative insecurity? No. Is it terror or unsupported? It's an emotion of feeling unsupported. Now, let me explain what this is. Sometimes when we feel an intense emotion, sometimes that energy will become trapped in the body. It forms into a trapped emotion, which is a little ball of emotional energy. But sometimes what happens is we feel an intense emotion, and the emotion, instead of becoming trapped, it just leaves our body kind of ringing with this energy. Kind of like if you walk up to a big bell and you hit it with a hammer, it rings for a while, come back an hour later, you can't hear it ringing, but maybe your dog can because it's still vibrating. That's what this is. This is an energy of this particular emotional frequency that we call unsupported, feeling unsupported, not getting enough support in your life. And it's just vibrating in your body. And so do we need to know anything else about this? We don't really. So let's go ahead and we'll release it with 3 swipes. Okay. So an emotional reverberation of unsupported. Okay. Did we release that from you? We did. Okay. Now stand up and move around a little bit. Let's see how that feels. 0 to 10.
Okay. Just feeling my foot.
Okay.
Okay. It has gone down. It just feels like not a sting anymore, but a ball, kind of like I'm stepping on a stone.
Okay. And so between your 2 feet, how would you rate them now?
Right one, the stone is a 4.
Okay.
Left one is 1. It's good. Feels good.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the homepage and let's ask the same question again. Is there another underlying reason why you're having this foot pain? So let's see what it is. Is it something on the left side? No. Is it a pathogen of some kind? No. Is it a misalignment of something? Yes. Let's go there. Is it something on the left side? No. Right side. Is it skeleton? It is. Is it in the appendicular? No, it's in the axial skeleton. Is it on the left side? Yes. Is it in the vertebral column? No, so it's in the skull. So you see how the skull shows up pretty
Again, yes.
in my experience. Yeah. So, okay, so let's see. This bone that's unhappy, is it on the left side of the chart here? No. So is it the frontal bone or one of the parietal bones or one of the temporal bones or the occipital bone? The occipital bone is the most commonly misaligned bone in the skull. It's right back here, base of the skull. And it when that bone is not functioning right, then nothing else works right in your body. So right underneath that bone, there's a hole in this bone, and the spinal cord goes right through there. So there's interference in the spinal cord. It causes all kinds of trouble. And this bone is supposed to move slightly. and help to pump the cerebrospinal fluid up and down. And if it's not functioning right, then that kind of gets the fluid, and the cerebrospinal fluid can kind of get stagnant a little bit and so on. It's better if it's functioning, but it's not working right now. So let's click on it. And let's ask, is there an associated imbalance that needs to be decoded? Yes. So let's go back to the home page. So is this something on the left side? Let's go there. Is it on the left side? Yes. Is it post-traumatic? Yes. Okay. Is it on the left side? Yep. Is it physical trauma? Yep. It's a physical trauma. And so is there anything associated with this? Not really. So you took some kind of a physical blow at some point in your life, and it affected you here, and it's been kind of jamming or misaligning that bone. So let me make a note of this really quick. Is there any kind of physical blow that you took probably years ago, but maybe recently, that rings any kind of a bell? Anything pop into your head?
Can you explain it slowly again? A physical?
Yes. So in other words, at some point in your life, you took some kind of a physical blow. Maybe you got hit, maybe you fell, maybe you hit your head getting out of your car. Maybe you had a surgery. Surgeries can leave you with a physical trauma, and you might not have been hit here. You could have been hit somewhere else, and that energy may have just ended up.
But
here.
it has to be like a thing, because I had one thing, but it wasn't like a hit. But
well, you might not remember.
Thrombosis, bone infection, plus blood poisoning, and another thing.
Okay. Well,
I was 4, but I had like several. I fell, I broke my arms, I broke my backbone, and
wow. Well, let's
do this
things,
just for fun.
Do we need to know more about this? We don't, but just for fun, let's ask, okay? Because we can.
Okay.
How old are you right now?
51.
51. Okay, so let's get an idea when this happened, this physical trauma. We don't really need to, but just to show you that we can, we'll divide your life roughly in half. Did this occur earlier than age 30? Yes. Did it occur earlier than 20, this physical trauma? Yes. Earlier than 10, no. So between 10 and 20, between 10 to 15, did it happen? No. 16, 17, 18, around 19, around age 20. So it shows up around age 20. Now you might have been 19, maybe 21, but you're probably 19. Does that help? Anything you can think of that happened during that time of your life? And if you can't think of it, it doesn't matter, because,
Perhaps just a tiny thing. I was jumping on the bed of my dad and broke a little tailbone.
That's when you were that age? How old were you? Oh, I think you froze. Yeah, well, she froze, but at least she froze with a smile on her face. And let's ask if that's what that was. I think it was. Do we need to know more about it? We don't. So let's go ahead and release this. Okay. Andrea, you might want to try logging off really quick and logging back on again, because you're frozen on this end. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove Andrea. Andrea, if you're still hearing me, I'd like you to go ahead and click the link. Oh, there she is. She's back on already. Oh, no, she came off. Andrea, if you can still hear me, go ahead and click the link again and jump back on. Okay. Because I want to hear the rest of the story from you. Here she is, coming back. Hey, there you are. Hi. Okay. I want you to stand up and move around now for a minute. Okay.
I move around?
Yeah, stand up, move around. Let's see how your feet are.
Okay.
If you're going to freeze on one of these things, it's always nice to freeze with a smile on your face instead of, something else weird. All right, how do your feet feel so far?
Apart from that stone in my foot, everything feels good. Feels good. It's just that one very strong stone kind of thing.
Feels like you got a
where
lump
the stain was.
Okay, good. So your feet are definitely improving.
Definitely.
Okay. So, basically this is how we do this, the body code. And the interesting thing about it is the subconscious mind, when you start working on somebody with the body code, it will know how many things should be worked on or cleared that day. And usually it can be anywhere from one thing to maybe 10 or maybe 12, but usually not too many more than that, because the subconscious mind needs to heal from things. And so it might take a day or so from that. So let's ask, okay, is there another underlying reason why you've got this foot pain? Yes. Is the reason on the left side? Yes. Is it in the energies area? It is. Is it on the left side? No. Is it an allergy or an intolerance? No. Is it something emotional? It is. Is it on the left side? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. You might want to turn down your
lady here.
turn your speakers down just a little bit, because I'm hearing myself.
Okay.
Is it on the left side of this chart? Yes. Is it prenatal or preconception? It's inherited. So there's another inherited trapped emotion. Let's figure out what it is. Is it in column A? Yes. Is it in one of the odd rows? Yes. Is it in row 1? No. Is it in row 3? It's in row 3. So is the emotion crying? Is it discouragement? It's discouragement. Okay. It's inherited discouragement. And did you get this from your mother? No, this came from your father.
Again.
And did he get it from somebody earlier? From his father, yeah. And does it go back even further? Yes. How many generations back? Does it go back for 10 generations? No. 9 or 8 or 7 or 6 or 5 or 4. It goes back 4 generations. So your father got it from his father, who got it from his father, got it from his mother. Okay. And did she get it from her father? She got it from her mother. So from you, it goes father, father, mother, mother. And do we need to know anything else about this? We don't really. Let's clear this one. We do 10 swipes. There we go. And did we release that inherited discouragement from you? Did it clear from everybody else? Yep. Okay, now stand up, walk around. Let's see how that feels.
Yeah.
All right. How do your feet feel so far?
I have a left happy foot.
Okay.
And the right one, I have the feeling that one needs a bit longer, but yeah.
Okay, good. But they're a lot better than they were. How would you rate them? You remember we started out and
with a 7.
Okay, you said they're about a 7. It's been going on for 8 years, right? What kind of a number would you put on these two, the left and the right?
The left is on a 1. That's good. I can live with that.
Okay. How about the right side?
Besides that, actually the lump has gone better. It's better.
Ah, the lump is gone.
No, it's
Good.
better. It has gone better, but not gone totally.
Okay, so maybe it's like a 1.
No, not a 1 yet.
Okay, maybe a 2. What do you think?
2.5.
2.5, okay. All right, so that's fine. So let's go back to the home page and let's ask, all right, is there another underlying reason for this foot pain? Yes or no? Okay, and so right now your body is saying no. Now that means one of 2 things. It may mean that no, there's no other reason that we're ever going to find for your foot pain. Those are all the reasons ever. Or it might mean, well, that's all I can give you right now. There may be some other underlying reasons, but your body needs a little bit of time to process what we did. Okay, so that can happen too. So we don't know, but we'll see what happens. But hopefully, what'll happen is these things that we cleared will continue to affect you. So just to reiterate what we found, you remember you had that penetrating meridian imbalance. It was caused by an inherited trapped emotion of fear from your father's father. That took it from a 7 to about a 6. Then you had a broken heart due to that death, from a while back. That took it down to a 5. And then when we cleared the death itself, that was took the left foot down to a 2, or the right Well, anyway, it took it down more. Then you had a resonance, an emotional reverberation, feeling unsupported. That took it down even further. Then you had that occipital bone, and that occipital bone, is that happy now? It is. That was from a physical trauma energy. And that was from when you were bouncing on your dad's bed, I guess. And then the discouragement emotion. So you see what happens to us. Our bodies keep a record of all of these things that go on in our lives, and those imbalances that we accumulate, they stay there for the most part. And then gradually they start to manifest as symptoms for us. And we don't know why we're having symptoms, but we are. And so anyway, that's kind of how that works. So that's fantastic. We made a big difference for you. I hope that you're able to soon dance without any pain at all for the rest of your life.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
If not, I'll see you anyway. I'll see you in Frankfurt in May.
Okay. Sounds good. Take care, Andrea. It'll be great to see you there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So that kind of gives you an idea how all of this stuff works, and how the body code works, and how fun this is. So it's been really, really, really fun to connect with all of you. Remember that you can find the body code. It's an app. The ideal way to get it is to go to discoverhealing.com and pick it up there. Sign up for it. You get a month free. After that, it's just $29 a month. And if you just use it once or twice in a month, it can certainly save you that amount of money, and it can save you maybe way, way more than that. We think it's a fantastic bargain. Certification starts if you want to go through the certification program. We've got a certification pathway for you. You can get certified in the body code. You start with the emotion code certification, okay? Because that's the starting point. All you have to do is worry about finding one thing, that's just trapped emotions. But you'll see how powerful that alone can be. And then if you want to go on, you can go to body code certification once you finish emotion code certification. And then by the end of this coming year, 2022, we hope to have 2 more levels of certification that are done as well. So let's see here. All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for being on with me today. This has just been so fun, and we have lots and lots of comments, and I've only got a couple minutes here left. So, but this has been really fun, and I especially want to thank our volunteers. Mary, if you remember, she had that really acute pain in her upper back. It was like a 7 or an 8, and got that down to a 0 by the time we were done. She had a few different things going on. Karen had that left side sciatica. I think we got that down to about a 3, I believe, from a 7. And then Andrea, we just finished up with that terrible, terrible pain in her feet that she's had for 8 years. See, so remember the beauty of this is that you can do this, and the body code just makes it so simple, really. And again, you can pick it up at discoverhealing.com. Let me show you here how you get there. Of course, you can also sign up for it. It's discoverhealing.com/app, okay, which looks like this. And remember, you get a month free trial with it, and then it's just $29 a month. You can also pick it up if you want to on the Apple App Store or Google Play. The nice thing about signing up for it here is that you can then use it on multiple kinds of devices. You can use it on an Android tablet and an iPhone if you want to, or whatever. And of course, as you can see, as we've been doing here, it's also available online. So you can always pull it up online on your desktop computer. That's what I'm doing here, okay? And so, all right, fantastic, thank you. So yes, the app itself, if you look here, let me show you. I'll try to answer this question. When you sign up for the app, right now, it's called the Discover Healing app. We're probably going to change the name back to the Body Code app because it just seems to be creating a little bit of confusion. But anyway, for right now, it's called the Discover Healing app. and you can sign up for it. The emotion code part of it is always there, and you can keep it on your phone. You'll always have the emotion code chart of emotions in the app, even if you're not using the body code. And if you click on any one of these, it brings up the definitions of the emotions and so on. And if you want to keep using it, it's $29 a month, or you can get a discount. You can sign up for $319. You get it for a whole year. Okay, but you do always get your first month free. Okay, so so anyway, again, remember we've got these events coming up. Okay, Body Code Seminar in Dallas, Texas, October 15th and 16th. Okay, we've got an Emotion Code Seminar coming up with pickleball. All right, if you want to learn how to play pickleball, so fun. November 19th and 20th. We're super excited about that one. It's going to be super fun. And then we have an Emotion Code Seminar coming up in Cocoa Beach, Florida, November 6th. Now, I'm teaching all of those personally, okay? So if you want to come, you want to hang out, you want to interact, maybe get work done there. There's nothing like attending a live event. Don't worry about any of these, don't worry about COVID. Don't worry about any of these issues that are going on. And so let's see here. You can still get the magnetic emotion code chart by going to discoverhealing.com. We sell these there. You don't have to have one of these. You can use any kind of a magnet works. And if you don't have a magnet, you can just use your hand. Okay, that also works. It's nice though. This is nice because it has all the emotions listed on it. Okay. And so it's handy that way, but don't feel like you have to have a magnet to do this work. If you have a hand, you can use your hand, okay? So it works just as well that way. All right, let's see here. As far as, I've got a question here about the events. Let me go to the event page really quick. I'm on discoverhealing.com, right? And so let's go to the event page here. Let me actually blow this up a little bit more so you can see it. Here we go. Make this thing a little bit bigger. Here we go. So if you go to discoverhealing.com/events, you can see these events. And here's our seminar in Dallas. Here's the seminar in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Man, I'm excited about that one. There's a beach, right? And then this one too is going to be so much fun, Emotion Code and Pickleball. So that's how you sign up for these. Go to discoverhealing.com/events. Okay. So anyway, listen, this has been really a lot of fun. I want to thank all of you for coming. Oh, a question about the magnets. You can buy those if you go to Discover Healing and click on the shop button, and there they are right there. Okay. That's how that works. And if you're interested in certification, you can just go to discoverhealing.com/certification, and all the information is there. And let's see if we need to update this. Oh, that's not working. Must be my browser. We have over 8,000, I think about 8,200 certified emotion code practitioners now in about 80 countries. And I think we've got about probably 1,700 or so certified body code practitioners around the world. You get a certificate. It's pretty simple, easy to go through, not difficult really at all. We want you to be successful, okay? And so you can read all about it here. You know, it's really an amazing thing because you can have clients that can be in other countries. I mean, your clientele could literally span the globe eventually. And the nice thing about it is you can work with them remotely. If you want to go on vacation, you can take your work with you. And it's really simple. And that's what happened to me when I never really intended to practice again after I'd been practicing for about 17 years, and I left my practice to write the book, The Emotion Code. But when I was writing the book, I thought, people are going to need help. And so I probably should put in something in the book about how they can connect with me. And so in those early versions of the book, there was a link you could go to, and you could sign up for a session with me, and it would automatically email them back the information about what they needed, the number they needed to call, and so on. And so all of a sudden, it didn't take long, and I was pretty busy. I worked 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 8 a.m. to noon, and that was it. That was my work week. And we have other people doing the same kind of thing too, and worked with people all over the world. and people would call me, and I would do a session. I did sessions in 20-minute increments, okay? Now, these sessions today obviously took longer because I was teaching as I was doing it and explaining it all. But when you're not explaining so much, then it can go quite a bit faster. So I did my sessions in 20-minute increments. Some people do that. Some people do 30 minutes. Some people do a little longer, whatever. But anyway, what happened was I was planning on going on vacation, and I was booked with clients, and I didn't know what to do. So I started looking into it, and what I did is I signed up for a Skype telephone number that I think was $60 a year or something. And I thought it was so smart. I forwarded my business phone line to my Skype line, and I'll never forget. Went on vacation. Monday morning, I had clients to work with, and at 8 a.m., I'm in Montana, and I'm sitting out in the backyard of this cabin, and I've got Wi-Fi, and I'm sitting at a picnic table. I've got my laptop there. My laptop is open. I've got my headphones on, and I've got Skype up and running, and I wasn't sure if this is going to work or not, but my very first client called my business line, and it rang, forwarded to my Skype line, and it rang on my computer, and I answered it on my computer, and I'm talking to them. And so I did all my sessions out there sitting outside in the pine trees. And I remember it was about halfway through the morning, and a deer walked by and stopped and looked at me, and I just thought, meanwhile, I'm talking to somebody in Hong Kong or something. I just thought, this is really amazing. People need to know about this. So especially in an age now, I mean, you think about how here we are in this crazy time, and who knows what's going to happen. But the beautiful thing about doing this kind of work is that you could be locked down, and you can still make money, and you can still work with clientele around the world. I mean, there's so much healing that needs to take place. People are looking for credentialed healers. So I believe that there are no coincidences. And if you feel drawn to this, then you should seriously consider getting certified and helping us, because we're changing the world one person at a time. And this is spreading like wildfire all around the world. It has to happen. The world has to change. Light has to overcome darkness. And my parting words would be this, that even though the world can seem like there's a lot of darkness going on, there's a lot of craziness going on, remember the yin-yang symbol, and remember that light and dark always have to stay in a state of balance. So as things are getting darker and crazier in these end times that we're in, the light to counteract that will shine brighter and brighter and brighter. So you don't have to worry. You just have to look for the light and stay in the light. And with this work, you can join us and become a light bringer, a bearer of light to the people that you love and the people that you can help and heal. And there's really no limit. There's no stopping this. The cat is out of the bag. So thank you so much all for being on, and we will talk to you next time. Okay, I'll try to do this again pretty soon. This was really a lot of fun. God bless you all. Take care. We'll see you next time.